केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Who exactly is a Dimagi Naxal? 2 days after the Prime Minister used those words from the ramparts of the Red Fort, there is a fast and furious political battle over who that label actually describes. So let's begin with Prime Minister Modi's own context. He spoke first about the devastation caused by armed Naxalism and then argued that while the gun-wielding Naxal is a thing of the past, the ideology hasn't quite disappeared. Instead, he said that mindset has traveled from the jungles into the corridors of power, looking for opportunities to push India towards violence and anarchy. For those with this mindset, the Prime Minister coined a name and called them Dimagi Naxal.
हथियारी नक्सल तो गए, लेकिन दिमागी नक्सल, ये दिमागी नक्सल मौके की तलाश में है। हिंसा अराजकता के वो रास्ते खोज रहे हैं, समाज को गलत राह पर घसीटने के लिए भांति भांति के दांव कर रहे हैं। इन दिमागी नक्सलियों को पहचानना होगा, इन दिमागी नक्सलियों को आइसोलेट करना होगा और राष्ट्र को विकसित राष्ट्र बनाने की मुख्य धारा की ओर देश की युवा पीढ़ी को जोड़ना होगा।
Now you can challenge that terminology, and that is precisely the opposition's argument that yesterday's urban Naxal, Andolan GV and Tukre Tukre gang has today become Dimagi Naxal, another tag to delegitimize dissent. But here's the thing. The Prime Minister never made any such reference. He never called the opposition Dimagi Naxals. In fact, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju further clarified that the reference is to those who support Maoist separatism and reject the constitution. And yet, from former Home Minister P. Chidambaram to former Chief Minister of Delhi Arvind Kejriwal, from Mehbooba Mufti to Mahua Moitra, all say we are proud to be Dimagi Naxals.
प्रधानमंत्री जी के हिसाब से दिमागी नक्सली कौन है? जो इस देश में प्रश्न उठाने की हिम्मत करता है, प्रधानमंत्री जी से और बीजेपी से डरता नहीं है। आज अगर भगत सिंह जिंदा होते तो प्रधानमंत्री जी भगत सिंह को भी दिमागी नक्सली बोलते। आज अगर बाबा साहब अंबेडकर जिंदा होते, जिन्होंने सबकी बराबरी के लिए लड़ाई लड़ी थी, तो बाबा साहब अंबेडकर को भी प्रधानमंत्री जी नहीं छोड़ते, उनको भी प्रधानमंत्री जी दिमागी नक्सली बोलते। जो सड़ी गली व्यवस्था को बदलना चाहता है, जो अच्छे सरकारी स्कूल चाहता है, जो अच्छे सरकारी अस्पताल चाहता है, जो बिजली चाहता है, पानी चाहता है, सीवर चाहता है, ड्रेनेज चाहता है, अच्छी व्यवस्था चाहता है, भ्रष्टाचार मुक्त भारत का सपना दिखता है, वो प्रधानमंत्री जी के हिसाब से दिमाग नक्सली है। मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी को कहना चाहता हूं कि मैं अरविंद केजरीवाल आपके हिसाब से दिमागी नक्सली हूं, क्योंकि मैं देशभक्त हूं और मुझे इस बात का गर्व है। अगर देश के खिलाफ कोई कुछ करेगा या कोई कुछ बोलेगा, केजरीवाल अपनी पूरी ताकत के साथ उसका मुकाबला करेगा।
Is it a case of guilty conscience needing no accuser? Did Prime Minister Modi brand his critics Naxals? Or has the opposition embraced a tag the Prime Minister never actually gave him? If Modi's stated target is people seeking violence, anarchy and supporting Maoists and separatists, why are the opposition leaders rushing to appropriate the description? Here's the political slugfest.
प्रधानमंत्री जी जिस कंटेस्ट में इस्तेमाल करें ना, वो सारे परजीवी उनके अपने यहाँ पाए जाते हैं। जो सड़क पर दाढ़ी टोपी देखकर मारते हैं, जो सड़क के ऊपर जो जूता गांठने वाले को देख करके मारते हैं, जो सड़क पर चलते हुए किसी आदिवासी को देख करके मारते हैं, ये सारे परजीवी उन्हीं के यहाँ हैं।
कांग्रेस पार्टी अपने इकोसिस्टम से नक्सलवाद की खाद पानी देती है, उसका चेहरा बने हैं
मेरा लगता है चिदम्बरम दिमागी नक्सल नहीं है, उससे भी ऊपर वाला नक्सल है। वो खुद ही नक्सल है, देश में एनार्की लाने वाला वो भी एक पूरा प्योर नक्सल है। दिमागी नक्सल उसमें नहीं ये अप्लाई होगा, वो प्योर नक्सल कैटेगरी में आएगा।
प्राउड दिमागी नक्सल whereas he is a दिमागी venomous or दिमागी criminal.
The BJP is on the offensive, using Congress's own archives against it. In 2013, the UPA Home Ministry told the Supreme Court that Maoist front organizations operated in urban spaces through ideologues, including academics and activists, and went so far as to say these ideologues could be more dangerous than the armed cadres. Does it not sound remarkably similar to the ecosystem the Prime Minister is describing today? And rewind further. In 2010, the then Home Minister P. Chidambaram himself warned that Naxals were receiving intellectual and material support from NGOs and sections of the civil society, making the state's task more difficult. There is more. In 2006, Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh himself called Naxalism India's single biggest internal security challenge. 20 years later, his Home Minister P. Chidambaram said he is proud to be a Dimagi Naxal. The BJP is asking who represents the Congress position, Dr. Manmohan Singh or Chidambaram?
पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह ने 13 अप्रैल 2006 को कहा था, मैं कोट कर रहा हूं, It would not be an exaggeration to say that the problem of Naxalism is the single biggest internal security challenge ever faced by our country. तो मैं कांग्रेस से पूछना चाहता हूं कि डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह सही हैं या आज के आपके स्वघोषित दिमागी नक्सली चिदम्बरम साहब?
And perhaps no split screen captures tonight's irony better than this. In Basar, women who once carried guns for Maoists have surrendered, been rehabilitated and walked the ramp with local produce. That's the change. On the other side is P. Chidambaram. As Home Minister, he said the government would not ask Maoists to lay down their arms before talks, otherwise talks would never happen. And 16 years later, Maoists laying down their guns while the former Home Minister is embracing the label of Dimagi Naxal. Listen to what Chidambaram said and decide if this is the mindset being spoken of.
I was the first minister of this government to say we are ready for talks. We are not asking you to lay down arms because we know you won't do that. Because you believe in armed liberation struggle. You will not lay down arms.
The Dimagi Naxal battle has collided with the Vande Mataram row. It began at Congress headquarters on Independence Day. The full Vande Mataram was being rendered when Sonia Gandhi was seen agitated, gesturing and speaking to Mallikarjun Kharge. BJP alleges she wanted the rendition stopped. Congress insists she was merely asking for a chair for Kharge. Then came another viral clip. Rahul Gandhi is purportedly heard saying, "We don't sing Vande Mataram" after the ceremony, and the explanations keep coming. The Congress leaders defend the right not to sing the full song, and Congress MP Imran Masood says he won't sing it at all. BJP says this is precisely the symptom of the Dimagi Naxal mindset.
सोनिया गांधी ने कोई गलती नहीं की है। वंदे मातरम पूरा गाना का नहीं गाने का वो इसके सरकारी प्रोग्राम की बातें हैं। यहाँ इंडिविजुअल प्रोग्राम रहते हैं, अलग अलग रहते हैं, सोसाइटी के रहते हैं, वहाँ कोई सवाल ही नहीं। कांग्रेस पार्टी का पूरा वंदे मातरम मानना ही है, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं।
बिल्कुल मैं तो नहीं गाऊंगा, मुझे नहीं पता कोई गाएगा नहीं गाएगा, लेकिन मैं नहीं गाऊंगा। मेरा धर्म मुझे इजाजत नहीं देता मैं गाऊं, और मुझे मेरा धर्म मानने की इजाजत मेरा संविधान देता है।
पूर्ण वंदे मातरम वाजवलं म्हणून सोनियाजी नाराज झाल्याच्या बातम्या ज्या ऐकायला मिळतात, पाहायला मिळतात, हा दिमागी नक्षलवाद नाही तर काय आहे?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the legitimate question on the News Hour tonight. Dimagi Naxal definition to won't sing Vande Mataram. Is the opposition blinded by Modi hate? That's the question, and that's the debate on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson of the BJP. Congratulations to you, Pradeep Bhandari, for your elevation in the new team as co-chair of the media department. Also joining us this evening, Sushant Sareen, senior fellow at the ORF. Harshvardhan Tripathi, senior journalist, also joining us this evening. Ghanshyam Tiwari, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Waris Pathan, national spokesperson of the AIMIM. First question goes to Sanjay Jha, Congress leader, author, political commentator. And Sanjay Jha, what is the problem? Did the Prime Minister call anybody in the Congress party Dimagi Naxal, or has the Congress party suddenly been woken up by guilty conscience and assumed that title on their own? Because the Prime Minister was referring to those who spread violence and anarchy in the country, words to which effect have been used by the UPA Sarkar in their affidavits, in their speeches in the past. What is so objectionable about the Prime Minister's statement that suddenly everybody thinks it's fashionable to be called Dimagi Naxal?
Good evening to you, Navika, and to all my panelists on program. I think we all know that Mr. Modi, when he speaks anywhere, his speeches are choreographed. I'm sure they are repeatedly edited, and he knows exactly the message that he's wishing to convey to the people, whether it's a constituency, voters, students, or in this case, the entire country. I think this is a very serious subject, and I'll tell you why. Let's look at a couple of examples to put this entire discussion in context. You have had the BJP and Mr. Modi's government call the farmers as terrorists, separatists. The opposition has been called Pakistani agents not once but several times. You have had writers and authors and intellectuals who have been apparently George Soros funded. You had the Cockroach Janata Party, which was deemed to be a national security threat. Students, till not too long ago, were called as part of Tukre Tukre gang and, as we heard, the gutter generation. Leftists and those who are leaning towards socialism have been branded as urban Naxals. Mr. Modi has used the term urban Naxals not once but 100 times. So the question comes up. I mean, what has he done? He's actually expanded the definition of urban Naxals, which meant anybody who dissented with his economic or any other policy, to include even rural. So therefore, it's now become Dimagi one. Basically, this term is inspired, in my opinion, by George Orwell's 1984. And I'm saying this with a lot of gravitas. If you go back to 1984, the whole concept was on thought crime, where the idea was that anybody who even considered to be a critic, you didn't have to say it publicly, but if you were even considering to be critical of the government wanted to catch you even before you said a word or wrote something. I think this is now reaching a point of paranoia. In my opinion, Mr. Modi talking about Dimagi Naxal is not a casual statement that has now gone through some clarification.
No, it's not a casual statement. Absolutely not. Because the Prime Minister is very clear about what he's saying. He said, हथियारी नक्सल गए लेकिन दिमागी नक्सल, ये दिमागी नक्सल वो है जो हिंसा और अराजकता फैलाते हैं, इसके रास्ते खोजते हैं. He didn't say opposition. Are you saying you spread anarchy? Are you saying you spread violence? Your former Home Minister, our former Home Minister, P. Chidambaram, didn't have the guts to take action against the Naxals. He even told them, if I tell you to put your arms down, you won't do it and talks will never take place. Abjure from violence. He was actually appealing to them on his knees when his entire top leadership in Chhattisgarh, in Madhya Pradesh was shot down. You're telling me that this was just an off-the-cuff remark. No, it was meant for those who want to spread anarchism. Pradeep Bhandari, which part of the Prime Minister's speech is not clear? And why is the opposition finding innuendo where there is none?
No, Navika, listen, for God's sake.
The Congress party. Sanjay, you spoke your piece. At the outset, 3 fake news. Prime Minister never called farmers as with any slogan which Sanjay was speaking about. Neither has the Gen Z been called by any slogan which Sanjay has been spoken about. Let me come to the point. Yes, the Congress party here has become guilty conscious, and Congress party here has admitted. Sanjay, I will continue to interrupt you in the entire debate. This is not the format. Allow me to make my. I have a right to opinion to counter check you. The Prime Minister never called farmers as urban Naxals, so stop spreading fake news. You said that. You said that. You rewind it and said it. Now let me make my opening piece. Sanjay, you are acting like a child who's speaking out of turn. Please allow me to make my point. I heard you for 3 minutes. Thank you. My only humble submission, Navika ji, is the Congress party here is becoming guilty conscious because now it has understood that its entire Dimagi Naxal ecosystem is caught. I'll tell you what is Dimagi Naxal. Binayak Sen was part of the National Advisory Council. National Advisory Council at the time of the UPA used to advise Sonia Gandhi. He was convicted of sedition. He was convicted of sedition and was convicted of helping the Naxals. That is what the Dimagi Naxal ecosystem was, which was governing the Congress party. I'll tell you what is Dimagi Naxal. You had in 2010, when 20 of our CRPF Jawan were shaheed because of a Naxal terror attack, you had members in JNU who celebrated it and said, quote, pitched battle over people's war at JNU. So you had individuals in JNU supporting the killing of and martyrdom of our 76 CRPF Jawan in 2010. This is what Dimagi Naxal is. I'll tell you what is Dimagi Naxal. Dimagi Naxal is when you have an individual who is a political entity, a Sonia Gandhi, who is attempting to interrupt Vande Mataram. No patriotic Indian will do it. Dimagi Naxal is when you have Article 370 abrogated, which means that one country, one flag, and you have individuals politically, intellectually backing, supposing it. I'll tell you what is Dimagi Naxal when you have people like Yogendra Yadav saying that Sansad se nahi chalega desh, sirf sadak se chalega desh. That is what is Dimagi Naxal. Dimagi Naxal is anybody who does not believe in the idea of a united and a strong India. That is what Dimagi Naxal is. Now, if the Congress party here is becoming guilty conscious, it is self-exposing itself. We never called the Congress party. And if the Congress believes it is, yes. And this is why when Congress was in power, it never eradicated Naxalism. So the Congress is caught here. And just Navika ji, I am not saying this. Sushil Shinde had submitted an affidavit in the Supreme Court where he said, and I quote the Congress party, that intellectuals and academicians who believe in the Naxal ideology have become more dangerous than the armed Naxals. This is Sushil Kumar Shinde submitting as affidavit in the court of law when he was the Home Minister. So the Congress also...
Absolutely. And that affidavit, Ghanshyam Tiwari said, it is these ideologues who have kept the Maoist movement alive and are in many ways more dangerous than the cadres of the People's Liberation Guerrilla Army. The affidavit also informed the Supreme Court that one of the strategies used by the Maoists was to mobilize certain targeted sections of the population, especially the urban population, through its mass organization, which are otherwise called front organizations. These are words that were used then by the UPA Sarkar in its affidavit to the Supreme Court. Today, the Prime Minister has merely changed some words and said the same thing in Hindi. Why is everybody up in arms? ये तो पहले भी बोला गया कि ideology and intellectuals are taking them towards a certain side. What is so different? Why is there an emergency in the opposition today?
Good evening, Avikaji, to you, the viewers, and the fellow co-panelists. There are 3 things any basic Google search will tell you. Let's take the minimum definition that Prime Minister spoke about. That people who create violent acts and propagate violent acts. So I just looked at a basic research on BJP. Of its 2,000 MPs and MLAs, there are 150 to 200 sitting legislators of BJP who have charges related to rioting. There are 120 sitting MP and MLAs of BJP who have charges related to enmity and hate speech. There are 40 to 60 who have charges related to attempt to murder and grievous hurt. There are 25 who have charges related to crime against women and 5 to 10 who have charges related to murder. Now, this is the organization the Prime Minister represents. 800 of its 2,000 MPs and MLAs have serious criminal charges. These people propagate violence as is there in their own affidavit. I'm not inventing it. Point number 2, that why is everybody riled up? Prime Minister was not speaking on an election rally. He was speaking at a pious occasion of Independence Day, a day that was brought together by the martyrdom and continuous sacrifice of thousands and tens and thousands of freedom fighters and the entire nation at that time. At a time when his mother organization, BJP's mother organization, RSS, was supporting the British. They did not contribute a zilch to the freedom struggle. On that pious occasion, if the Prime Minister invests Dimagi Naxal, how does the nation react? The students think that he is talking about them. The intellectuals who have real degrees, who don't have fake degrees, which is probably crores of Indians, think that he is talking about them. People in media who question the government continuously think that he is talking about them. People in opposition who kept saying that the Home Minister, General Shah, should face the parliament, think that they are talking about them. So it is up to the Prime Minister, in an interview maybe with you, or in a press conference, or in a tweet, or a midnight Instagram, to tell us what this Dimagi Naxal comes from. Because people have
Well, he explained it. I'm really surprised that you did not hear the speech of the Prime Minister on the pious occasion of the Independence Day, where he actually said he was talking about those who spread violence and anarchy. Pradeep Bhandari, why are there so many doubts still remaining?
Navika ji, there are no doubts. It's the political front of the Dimagi Naxals who have self-exposed. I'll give you a simple instance. Well, Sharjeel Imam is an anti-national who wanted chicken neck to be removed from India. Now, all of us completely as patriots and nationalists, irrespective of political ideologies, will oppose it. But have you seen Rahul Gandhi or Akhilesh Yadav come out openly and call that man as an anti-national man? No, because they're governed by the same Dimagi Naxal mindset. I'll tell you another instance which is a problematic point here.
He's just accused Rahul Gandhi of being a Dimagi Naxal. He's proved my point.
Obviously he is.
He's proved my point.
Bhaiya, obviously he is a man who does not want to sing Vande Mataram. What I will call him, a Deshbhakt?
You just proved my point.
I will call a man who does not want to sing Vande Mataram and interrupt Vande Mataram as a Deshbhakt. Leave me aside. Ask people on the streets, you will know. I'll call a man who, during his government, a man like Vinayak Sen, convicted of sedition, advising the government as Deshbhakt. That is my right to opinion.
You just called them that.
100%. I am saying it for the third time. Congress is the political front governed by the Dimagi Naxal ecosystem and ideology.
There you go, Navika,
yes, Congress is, because the Congress party always had the Congress party's ideologue Vinayak Sen, convicted of sedition. Bhima Koregaon. You know Bhima Koregaon? The people, the quote-unquote intellectuals who wanted to plot to assassinate the Honorable Prime Minister. You call it a conspiracy theory. It was even called, it went ahead in court. Did you speak against it? No. So you have ideologues who have been convicted of seditions and supporting Naxals. That is not what I'm saying. Your own minister said it.
The program
at which stage did the Prime Minister, and Sushant Sareen, I want to ask you, at which stage did the Prime Minister say that those who dissent are urban Naxals or Dimagi Naxals? Where did he say that? And when Sanjay Jha is so outraged that, oh, Pradeep Bhandari is calling the Congress party the Dimagi Naxals, well, it's a label they have all jumped up and accepted themselves. Why is the outrage coming 48 hours later, Sushant Sareen?
Yeah, look, I don't think that statement was against the dissenters. Sanjay, for example, or Waris Pathan, or Ghanshyam, and many other luminaries from the opposition side come on television every day. They roundly criticize the government. They go hammer and tongs at them. I don't think anybody can call either Sanjay or Waris or Ghanshyam urban Naxals. One might not agree with the viewpoint, but they're certainly not urban Naxals. I think urban Naxals or the Dimagi Naxals, I think probably the best definition which comes to mind is something which Arun Jaitley had said. It's the overground face of the underground. And we've seen plenty of evidence of that. Now, I don't agree with Pradeep. it was the Congress party which actually wiped out the first wave of Naxalism, and ruthlessly. But it was the same Congress party which actually fought the Naxals in the second round, but could not go the whole distance simply because a lot of those so-called people with the urban Naxal mindset had infiltrated the ranks, including in what was called the NCA, right? They had actually infiltrated the ranks. They were running the policy. It was the super government. And while you did, tackle with the Naxals at a very tactical level, the kind of larger strategy which should have been made was never made. And it's the same Mr. Chidambaram who today says, I am a Dimagi Naxal, and he's probably trying to, take a leaf out of the BJP book. You remember that Chor bhi Chaukidar hai kind of campaign? And then, the thing went viral, that Main bhi Chaukidar kind of a thing. Maybe that's what they were trying to do. It's fallen flat on the face. But Mr. Chidambaram, to his credit and now to his discredit, he was the man who actually was at one point of time leading the fight against the Naxals. Only this particular clip which you played tells you that they could not go the whole distance. But it was the Congress party guys who were getting wiped out in Chhattisgarh and in Bastar when, top luminaries of the Congress party got killed. And it's the Congress party, for them to now take on this mantle that I am a Dimagi Naxal. We very well know that there are people who go and fight the Indian state, who massacre people, who have been responsible for hundreds and thousands of deaths in the jungles. But there is another ecosystem which lives in the comfort of, urban areas, which are employed in universities, who are probably, some of them are allegedly students. A whole lot of this crowd, which actually backs that entire movement through the intellectual or the so-called intellectual, allegedly intellectual activity. That is the section of society that I think the Prime Minister was naming. And there was nothing wrong in it, because this is a genuine problem. There are people. Sanjay is wrong. Nobody said the farmers are separatists or Khalistanis. But can Sanjay deny that there was an element of the Khalistani lot which had infiltrated the farmers' agitation when that was happening? Can he deny that? Can he deny the fact that there were the slogans shouted out in JNU that Bharat Tere Tukde Honge? Can he deny that something like that happened? Does he condone it or does he condemn it? I would imagine that a nationalist Indian with whose views I might not necessarily agree, we might be not on the same page on everything, but I'm sure he does not agree with a Sharjeel Imam who goes about saying that we need to mobilize to cut off the chicken's neck and separate northeast of India from India.
Absolutely.
Does he agree?
Absolutely. And Sanjay Jha, for once, don't be ambiguous. We may not have the same views, but we are not questioning your nationalism. All we are saying is, why do you chicken out of calling out those people who want to cut the chicken neck? That is the only question.
So Navika, a short response to what Sushant said. Sushant, let's kind of have a more holistic conversation on this. Keep it short. You have had a situation where the students protesting at Jantar Mantar have been called by eminent people from the RSS and BJP as Tukre gang, national security threat, anti-nationals, separatists, and what have you. I mean, that's the
and
problem.
They've had to backtrack, my friend. They've had to backtrack.
Navika.
So please, please, they made a mistake and they've had to backtrack. The resignation was given, all demands were met. Yes, Sanjay Jha, they have acknowledged the fault that was made. The trouble with you and your rank and file is that you don't want to acknowledge. After all, Waris Pathan, Dr. Manmohan Singh started from the position of saying that the biggest challenge to India's national security were the Maoist terrorists. To the time when the NAC, the National Advisory Council, headed by Sonia Gandhi, became what it became. And then you saw what Chidambaram said. Bhai, abjure violence. We will not ask you to lay down your arms. We were on our knees. And Naxalism, Maoist terrorism would never have been met with that kind of a resolve. So if the Prime Minister has said exactly what the Congress governments have said in the past, what is the sudden point on which there is so much of outrage, so much of anger?
Well, Navika, just few months back, the Supreme Court just called certain people's cockroaches. What we saw was a cockroach Janata Party was formed, and they had taken the government on their knees, and Dharmendra Pradhan, the education minister, has resigned. They went on the streets, they protested for the constitution. Now what I have learned is that because Narendra Modi, on the pious occasion of our Independence Day from Red Fort, he spoke about Dimagi Naxal. So just today the new party is formed on Instagram calling Dimagi Naxal Janata Party. Now what will happen in the coming few days, we don't know. They will be protesting or something like that. But I would ask, who is a Dimagi Naxal? And who will term a person as a Dimagi Naxal? If asking a government, if the constitution has given me a right, if the government is doing something wrong, and if I question to a government, will I be called a Dimagi Naxal? Is it called a Dimagi Naxal? Then yes, I am a Dimagi Naxal. Questioning the government does not make you. Now allow me, just a parliamentarian on the floor of the parliament calls a Muslim cut mullah. I am talking about Biduri. Calling other parliamentarian cut mullah, Atangwadi, terrorist to the other parliamentarian Muslim.
Wrong.
What will you name him?
Absolutely condemnable. And nobody has any problems in condemning Biduri ji.
Condemnable, right?
Everybody condemns that statement, condemns the parliamentarian.
Was he removed? Was he removed? No, was he removed? Was he suspended? Was he suspended? Was he removed? Did Modi come and apologize before the nation for the deeds done by his parliamentarian?
Were you removed from IMM?
Now allow me. This is not the proper way. Don't behave like a child. Don't intervene. When you always speaking, I kept my mouth shut. I did not utter a single word. I did not utter a single word when you were making your point.
Were you removed?
No, I did not ask. I never. No, I showed you the fact. I showed fact. I did not ask you question. I showed you the fact that what will you call that person who on the floor of the parliament calls a fellow Muslim parliamentarian
Were you removed by OSC?
And terrorist. And what was that?
You guys have gone to the court for asking for bail
what
for
was that?
terrorist,
What would
man.
you call him? What kind of Dimagi Naxal was that?
What is your statement?
Who was for bail?
You were the guy who used to go to the Supreme Court midnight saying कि अफजल गुरु को रिहा कर दो. अफजल गुरु जो है वो शक्ति है.
See, Navika, this is not. Who said? Are Ram?
Pradeep, allow him to complete. Pradeep, allow him to complete, and then I'll give you time to counter. Allow Baris Bhai to complete.
I think Pradeep Bhandari has become a Dimagi Naxal for the television. I think so. He is intervening time and again. Is threatening everybody that if you intervene, I will not allow you to make your points, and I will interfere again and again. He is now one of the Dimagi Naxal.
Yeah,
no,
I don't know what you are saying. Tu bhi Naxal, मैं भी Naxal. Is it some fashionable? I mean, this is not a matter of a joke, Baris Bhai.
Then who made this joke? On the pious day of independence from the Red Fort, Prime Minister calling this kind of phrase Dimagi Naxal. Who made this joke? Prime Minister. Why don't you question him? You should ask him. What made him use this kind of words? And from ask him, who will you term as a Dimagi Naxal? What will you call Biduri? What will you call the BJP?
आपको बुलाया नहीं, आप इतने ऑफेंड क्यों हो रहे? मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा. But प्रदीप भंडारी, counter Harshvardhan ji coming to you.
What kind of Dimagi Naxals are there?
Baris Bhai,
They lynch Muslims in the name of.
On October 25, Baris Bhai, don't trivialize the debate. It is to do with the unity and integrity of a country, which you and I both believe in. On October 25th, 2010.
You are worried about the unity and integrity of the country?
I am. That's why our government has abrogated Article 370 under leadership of PM and HM. Now please, Baris Bhai, on October 25, 2010, Arundhati Roy says that Kashmir was never a part of India. Is this a Dimagi Naxal mindset or not? And you have Congress leaders backing Arundhati Roy. This is exactly Dimagi Naxal.
Single question.
On 31st of May 2010, you had the National Advisory Council saying that Chidambaram's fight against Naxalism is wrong. It was NSE which went public against India's fight against Naxalism in 2010 when Chidambaram was the Home Minister. That is Dimagi Naxal mindset, sir.
Who are you to call it a Naxal?
One minute. I am not understanding the reason, because the Prime Minister was very clear in what he said. He said those who want to spread violence or anarchy. Prime Minister ने अराजकता और हिंसा की बात की, लेकिन हर्षवर्धन त्रिपाठी जी, ये सब लोग प्राइम मिनिस्टर को मिस इंटरप्रेट कर रहे हैं या बात का तिल का ताड़ कर रहे हैं क्योंकि ये मोदी हेट है, या क्योंकि ये शब्द और इस तरह की भाषा तो कांग्रेस की सरकार ने भी पहले इस्तेमाल की है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने ऐसा क्या कह दिया कि आज ये सब, मैं भी नक्सल, तू भी नक्सल, हम सब दिमागी नक्सल कहना शुरू हो गए।
I don't think he can hear you, Navika.
हर्षवर्धन त्रिपाठी जी, आपसे कह रही हूं।
I don't think he can hear you.
Well, Pradeep, please respond.
Navika ji, this is the classic syndrome which is called as the guilty conscious syndrome of somebody who believes he's the prima facie criminal and he's being caught.
What will you call that person who
It's simple. Varis bhai, now you're interrupting too much. I have three humble submissions.
What was it, Dimagi Naxal?
Humble submission number one.
What would you call
Anybody
him?
who believes in the unity and integrity of India will say that Jammu Kashmir is an integral part of India. You had Arundhati Roy in 2010 and multiple times and quote unquote intellectuals saying that Kashmir is not an integral part of India, and she has quasi way advised the Congress party and was very, very close to the Congress ecosystem. This is exactly Dimagi Naxal mindset. It are those who intellectually support violence.
Ghanshyam Tiwari, I want to ask you, this is the statement that was made in the past. Why is it suddenly unacceptable?
Navika ji, in the past 12 years, on your debates, 4,500 days when Prime Minister Modi has been the Prime Minister of India, we have gotten used to hearing certificates from Prime Minister, BJP, RSS, the entire chamber of Mr. Shah and RSS overall, that who's anti-Hindu, who's anti-national, who's the urban Naxal, who's Dimagi Naxal, who's terrorist. I can list you names of sitting ministers, MPs and MLAs, people like Vijay Shah, who disrespected our soldiers, Colonel Sophia Qureshi, and still are ministers. So BJP has gotten away far too long, 4,500 days, by calling Indians terrorists, anti-nationals, anti-Hindus, urban Naxals, and now Dimagi Naxals. So when the Prime Minister, in the face of a monsoon session where he refused to show up in the parliament, where General Shah refused to show up in the parliament, when the Prime Minister stands on the podium, he had two options: gather respect and trust of the Gen Z, who has been called gutter generation by their own MP, or put on fire.
Well, you know, everyone makes mistakes and everyone is taught a lesson. Why are you picking up on one statement? That is my question. और हर्षवर्धन त्रिपाठी जी, ये मोदी हेट में सब कुछ हो रहा है कि मोदी को कॉर्नर करो, क्योंकि अभी हमने कॉर्नर किया था, एक रेजिग्नेशन ले लिया है, तो अब हमें और प्रेशर डालना चाहिए, ये मेंटालिटी चल रही है, या क्योंकि ये जो शब्द हैं अर्बन एक्सल या आइडियोलॉग्स जो नक्सलाइट्स और माओइज्म का एक तरह से रोमांटिसिज्म अर्बन सोसाइटी में डाल रही है, ये तो कांग्रेस ने भी कहा था।
नविका जी, मुझे बहुत ही आश्चर्यजनक लगा है कि इस डिबेट में सारे लोग जो बैठे हैं ये सब बड़े समाज के ऐसे लोग हैं जो सोसाइटी को एक तरह से लोग देखते हैं, इनको तो कहते होंगे ये तो बड़े लोग हैं, चाहे वो संजय झा हो, चाहे घनश्याम तिवारी हो, जो इस तरह से बात कर रहे हैं, चाहे वो वारिस पठान। मैं सुशांत जी का और प्रदीप का नाम जानबूझकर नहीं ले रहा हूं। जरा सोचिए ये लोग क्या इतनी देर से डिबेट कर रहे हैं आपके शो में। नक्सल का सीधा सा मतलब जिसने इस देश के हजारों परिवारों का जीवन समाप्त कर दिया।
नक्सल का सीधा सा मतलब जिसने भारत भूमि पर लोकतंत्र की हत्या करने की बारंबार कोशिश की। नक्सल का सीधा सा मतलब जिसने सिर्फ छत्तीसगढ़ में 500 विद्यालयों को बम से उड़ा दिया। नक्सल का सीधा सा मतलब जिसने 250 अस्पतालों को सिर्फ छत्तीसगढ़ में बम से उड़ा दिया। नक्सल का सीधा सा मतलब जिसमें हजारों बच्चे बच्चियां अपने हाथ पांव वो नक्सलियों की बम धमाके का शिकार बन गए। नक्सल का सीधा सा मतलब जहां सड़क जानी थी वहां की सड़क उड़ा दी। नक्सल का सीधा सा मतलब जहां मोबाइल जुड़ता, कनेक्टिविटी होती, बच्चे पढ़ पाते, वहां धमाके सुनाई देने लगे। नक्सल का सीधा सा मतलब जो इस देश के खिलाफ खड़ा है, जो देश के खिलाफ जंग छेड़े हुए, युद्ध छेड़े हुए, और अगर नक्सल को दिमागी नक्सल, हथियारी नक्सल समाप्त हुए, अमित शाह ने एक टारगेट सेट किया था और प्रधानमंत्री उसे लाल किले से कह रहे हैं, तो यहां किसी भी विंडो में बैठे हुए व्यक्ति को कुछ नहीं है। एक लाइन की बात, दिमागी नक्सल भी नक्सल जैसा ही या उससे भी ज्यादा खतरनाक है। क्या हम ये कहेंगे क्या कि जैसे आतंकवादी हमारे यहां आते हैं और उनके जो दिमागी आतंकवादी हैं, शहबाज शरीफ, असीम मुनीर या ऐसे लोग, इनको क्या हम कहेंगे कि उनकी हम बात कर सकते हैं? और यहां टीवी पर कवर फायर देते हुए दिख रहे हैं। शर्मनाक है ये। कम से कम उन बच्चों का, उन बच्चियों का, उन परिवारों का चेहरा याद करें जो इस नक्सली माओवादी आतंकवाद का शिकार हुए।
बिल्कुल। और इसमें कांग्रेस की टॉप लीडरशिप, वीसी शुक्ला, तमाम लीडर, 26 लीडर एक साथ मारे गए थे, सफाई हो गई थी, लेकिन वही कांग्रेस इसको इस लहजे में उठा रही है। Well, clearly something that is beyond understanding. Let me also break news at this point. Reform committee has been set up in Jharkhand. The government there has given in to the demands. Exams conducted via TDPS have been cancelled now. The JPSC exams have been cancelled. आपको दिल्ली में नजर आ रहा था, झारखंड में भी वही हुआ, और झारखंड में भी सरकार को पीछे हटना पड़ा है। कम से कम आज उसे भी देख लीजिए। And that's the big breaking news coming in at this moment. We did a survey, ladies and gentlemen, and we asked the question, when leaders like Kejriwal, Chidambaram and Mufti say they are Dimagi Naxals, is it anti-BJP hate that is making them embrace the Naxal tag? Yes, say 91% of the people. No, say 8%, don't have a view, 1%. 91% people believe that yes, this is hate for Modi, this is hate for BJP that is driving this new fashion of everybody embracing the term Dimagi Naxal. We leave it at that. Thank you very much to all my panelists joining me on debate number 1.